Oh, okay. So, hi. Hi. So, I want to say hi to everybody. I know you don't normally see me on a Thursday night, but here we are on a Thursday night. Spirit fingers. Actually, those are Easter fingers. Woohoo. Um, so that everybody enjoys their Easter Sunday as far as work is concerned, because we don't like to skip work. We are doing this live show today, Thursday night, so that, and I will rerun it on Sunday. So you do have a show to watch on Sunday, 2 o'clock, Giras y Desveladas, but we're on right now. And if you don't watch it live, we are on Facebook, Gigi La Chicana Guerrero, Facebook, Giras y Desveladas, YouTube, Giras y Desveladas, and of course, always with Tejano TV with Juan Mendoza Jr. and Lila Lisa Promotions. So, for the treat for today, we have the lovely and beautiful and talented Miss Marisela Hernández. Say hi to everybody.
Yay! Hello, everybody. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Gigi. My first time here with you guys.
I'm excited. Now, as I do apologize because my lovely co-host, Ms. Norma Salazar, I just went like 5 minutes before we're gonna go on. It's like, hey, we're gonna go on live, by the way. And she's like with her little grandbaby, what? What? What do you mean,
Oh,
what? I'm like, well, so we can, I was like, we can record it now and then we'll show it again on Easter. I sent you the link. She might come on, she might not come on. Even if she doesn't, love you, Norma. And by the way, BTW, her and her husband George are nominated for the All Star Music Awards with Jesse Torres and La Chingona, Doña La Chingona, helping out as the couple. What is the title? I don't know what it's called.
um, best couple. I think
Best couple,
best
power
couple.
power couple. I don't know.
Best. I think
So
best couple. Yeah, I
so yeah,
think.
best
And
couple.
yeah.
So plug for
Congratulations
them.
and good luck.
Good luck. And right, of course, good luck and congratulations to all the nominees and everybody that's been nominated. And if you weren't nominated and you're still out there, thank you for being out there performing, uh, showing up for the public, doing your work. Because we know, right, Marisela, it's not an easy gig. It's not
It's
easy.
not easy, and I always tell, the people that I know that are starting or that are wanting to get into the industry on any level. I always say, things don't happen overnight, and don't expect them to. And it's better if they don't, because when you work for it, it feels better when you earn the recognitions that you will begin to get down the
Yes.
line. It just feels good. It feels good to put in the work and then get recognized for it. And so I just say, go for it, do what you love to do, put yourself out there, and you're always going to have the people that are going to love you. You're always going to have somebody that doesn't, and that's okay. It comes with the territory.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
being human, that's all right.
keep
Yes.
going and never give up, and just the gratification will come at its time, whenever it's meant to come. And it's always well received. And so, yes, speaking of the All-Star Awards, congratulations to all the nominees. I myself was nominated as well, for
Let
song.
me say, let me say that. Let me say that.
Yes. So I want to
Listen.
send a shout out to
uh,
Jesse Torres and the All Star Music Awards that are going to be in San Antonio this week. So yeah, we can talk about that a little bit.
Yay! All right. So, yes, that's what I wanted to say to everybody. Congratulations, Miss Marisela Hernandez, for being one of the nominees. And it is for Best Song, and it is your tribute to Laura Canales, our
Yeah.
queen, our pioneer as a female to the industry, someone that paved the way, like you said,
Yeah.
paved the way for all the other female artists in the Tejano genre. So,
Absolutely. And for for those that are new in Tejano music, or for the younger generation, if you haven't heard of Laura Canales, you need to look her up, and you need to check it out and look into our culture, our Tejano music, the history of our Tejano music. There's a lot of history there, and it's very, very interesting and beautiful. And part of our culture, part of our Tejano music history is Laura Canales. She was tagged and branded with the crown of La Reina de la Onda, and for a reason. She was, like you said, one of the pioneer women in the industry, going back to the 70s and maybe even late 60s. when she started trying to get into the industry with Encanto, which was her band. Felicidad was also her band back in the early 70s. It was difficult for her to get in as a female in a male dominated industry, as everything was at those in during those times. It was really difficult for women, but she kept going and she kept
Yeah.
going and she kept saying, I'm not going to stop. And she tried through here, she tried through there. She tried different ways, and eventually she became La Reina. She paved it for herself. She paved
Oh
her
yeah.
own way. And yeah, I was talking off camera with you earlier about how a lot of people, especially in Tejano music, the young generation and the older generation, of course, but everybody knows Selena. And Selena is the queen, right? How we say, the queen of Tejano. But before Selena, there was Laura Canales.
Yes.
And so, I encourage everyone and anyone who doesn't know the history of that to look her music up and look her journey up. It's definitely inspiring, and she did pave the way. She paid her dues, and she tried very very difficult. She was turned down a lot just for being a woman, for being a female. She was turned down a lot in the industry, but she kept going and she paved a name for herself. She recorded many, many albums and many great hits that she left us. And so that is the reason why we get to, I myself included, get to now do music that is in tribute to her and in honor to her, honoring her music, honoring la música de Laura Canales, that goes back to, as you mentioned, she also was a part of, for a little while, like with the Snowballing Company, the Legends, who now we call the Legends. Back then, they didn't know they were going to be legends. They were
Yeah.
just doing their thing in the bailes, right? But
Yeah.
she got to play with the Snowballs, with the Valde
Fabulosos Cuatro.
Munoz, the Fabulosos Cuatro, of course. She, got to play with them as well. The Legend tour that she did towards the end of her life. And so, she got to be up there with big names, and little did she know she was going to become, La Reina, even in her death, and we remember and we honor her music today and always, so we're blessed that we have that music. And that's exactly where I'm at right now. I do have my solo music. I have my music under Marisela Hernández, Tejano artist. Pero right now we were kind of guided towards doing this tribute to Laura Canales. And so this is where we're at. So yes, we recorded this medley for her. And this is what's out on the radio right now on the airwaves and on YouTube and Spotify, iTunes, and all the social media outlets that you can think of. So definitely I encourage y'all listen to it and tell me what you think.
That is awesome. I want to thank you. And like I mentioned before, I want to thank you for recording this because there is a big generation gap where people don't know about Lara Canales,
Mhm.
and people need to know about Lara Canales. And I was just thinking, if you really want to know the history of Lara Canales, we covered it with Giras y Desveladas, who happens to be nominated as well as a podcast. Cling.
Of course.
But we started with the legends, with the pioneers, people who invented Tejano music. I'm talking Armando Choreno Hosas. He knows the story of Laura Canales. Started with them, and then also we interviewed Valde Munoz. They had the history with Valde Munoz and all those bands, and
Yes.
these guys talked about her journey because they were there.
A part of it.
They were part of the journey.
Yes.
So look up the old Giras y Desveladas on YouTube. I know Juan Mendoza Jr. has been planning to put them on the new platform that they got, but wherever you find them, guys, this is history. These guys, it was history in the making. They
Yes.
did not realize it at that time. They were just following their passion, following their music, and for
Yes.
Laura Canales to be, I'm gonna say it, ballsy,
Yeah.
to stay in the business and keep at it and
Right.
just be persistent about it because she knew what she had. She had an amazing talent and
Hmm.
she had the passion for it. And how lucky are we that she did? And I'm going to props to you because I'm going to mention that I saw Maris, for those of you who have not heard Marisela Hernandez live, go. Go to one of her shows because I was with my foundation, another plug, Tejano Music Legacy Foundation, uh, and Marisela performed her medley
Yes.
and shut the hell up. I I I was like, I loved it.
Oh,
I
thank
loved it.
you.
I loved it. I loved your interpretation of the music. I loved, of course, we had Oscar Solis. I have also interviewed Oscar Solis, and he was part of history too in the
Legend.
making. He invented some of the stuff that is still used today in music. You
Yes.
don't know. I'm telling you, these guys are
Yes.
golden. These guys,
They are.
they
Their
are.
stories are so interesting and so, I mean, they have so much history. They have, it's so beautiful to get to, and we still have some of these gentlemen, right? And it's, and
Yes,
what a blessing for you to get to interview them right now,
yes,
and get these stories from them, because hearing it from them right now, what they lived 30, 40, 50 years ago is a gem.
yes,
And it's history, and it's always going to be a part of our history. And it's so
yes.
beautiful that we get to hear it from them today. And oh my God, yes, y'all need to go back and I need to go back and listen to some of those interviews.
Yes, you need to go in there. And YouTube, Giras y Desveladas, Girase Desveladas. Just
I
look
will,
the
I
rest will,
will.
the rest will come out. All right. So anybody who's wanting to listen, let's let's listen. Y'all are y'all are curious.
Let's hear. They're like, what are they
Let's
talking about? Let's hear
yeah,
it
what are you
already.
talking about? Here we go.
Estamos gozando unos momentos esta noche, sin importarnos lo que pase en este mundo. Me das un beso, yo te doy lo que tú quieras. Sin ti la vida no la quiero ni un momento. Dame la mano porque no me sé el camino. Yo solo sé que nada mal has de pensar. Somos dos almas que nos une un gran cariño, que solo Dios es el que nos pueda separar. Dame la mano, no conozco yo el camino. Juntitos vamos a gozar de un gran amor. Dame la mano y cambiaremos el destino, que solo ha dado un mundo lleno de dolor. Por buena suerte te encontré en mi camino y desde entonces yo soñé que tú eras mío. Mi cielo siempre te quiere, tú bien lo sabes y yo jamás te olvidaré. Bien de mi vida.
Oh my God.
Eternamente te amaré, yo te lo juro, eres el dueño de mi amor, la vida mía. Cuando te beso siento yo que soy dichosa, por eso siempre te diré que nuestro amor ha de durar. extraño mucho, mi amor, y me haces falta. No tengo quien acariciar si no es a ti. El tiempo lejos de ti me hizo adorarte y yo misma comprendí lo que te quiero. Lo lindo de ti es que me sabes querer. Lo bueno de ti es que me haces comprender. Me hiciste saber que el amor es muy lindo y muy puro. Y si me faltas tú, mi mundo sería un martirio sin ti. Me hiciste saber que el amor es muy lindo y muy puro. Y si me faltas tú, mi mundo sería un martirio sin ti.
OMG.
And there it is. Hey, thank you.
Okay, lots to talk about. First of all, ¿quién te está segundeando?
That is my husband, Johnny Hernandez.
Really? Oh, saludos to your. You want to
Yes,
talk to our audience about who he is, by the
absolutely,
way?
absolutely, always. Oh, he's not here right now, but shout out to my husband Johnny. He's actually still working. Pero so my husband Johnny is a longtime musician as well. Johnny Hernandez. He's a drummer, and he's been playing since he was about 16 professionally. He started con his padrino Jesse Serrata, que en paz descanse. When he was 16, they took him off the gira. Se lo llevaron, and then he started to play with him for a few years. Tocó también la tambora con Roberto Polido. He played a little while, a little bit with Signo when Jesse Turner was barely starting the band.
Oh, wow.
And then one of his greatest, I think dream come true in life was he played with the Hometown Boys. He played with the Hometown Boys for about 6 or 7 years, and that was when Ricky was still alive, and most of the band members were still alive. And so yeah, he has his own band called H3, and we've been married now for, let me see, 14, 13 years. And so he he was doing his music thing,
Que
we were doing
aguante
it
con los
together.
músicos.
I know, right? It's been a great 13 years. No, no, no. It's been great. It's been great. Pero también, no, he's very talented. He's a hard worker, pero también canta. And so,
Is that on your script, Marisela? He's.
no, no, I
You're
haven't
gonna say
really,
this, Marisela. No,
ya
I'm
me lo
kidding. I'm
sé,
playing.
ya me lo sé.
We're just kidding, of course. All respect to your
Yes, I
husband.
know, I know, I know. No, but yes, no, actually, all of them except for maybe a couple that I did my own background vocals. But if I didn't do my background vocals, then he's the one that does them. He's the one that, because he does real good voices. He does
Yes.
segundas and terceras and in between and whatever it is else voices that he can find in the middle.
Awesome.
He's really good at doing voices, and so he did the voices on that one. Yeah.
All right. Now, who backed you up? The band playing all those progressive notes and all that wonderful, beautiful, full sound de La
Crazy.
Onda, de los Fabulosos Cuatro, de,
Yeah.
los Chicanos también, my dad, they had that sound, that
Yes.
big, fat,
That
beautiful
retro
sound.
sound, that old school
Yes.
sound, it's the sound from the 90s. And there's certain synthetic sounds with like with the keyboard that you have to look for like that sound because they don't make it right now.
Yeah.
And so I have to give props to my producer and my music director and producer, George Ochoa. George Ochoa is a phenomenal musician, and
Interesting.
he's the one that produces all my music. And so he really did his homework and he put in all the work trying to find the sound, the right sound. I mean, believe me, we were there some nights in the studio and he would be like, "Quack," you like that sound? Like, no, that sounds too like this. And then, "Quack, quack, quack," and no, that sounds too like this. "Quack, quack," you like this one? And so we were, testing sounds and we found the sound. He found the sound that was right for this, for this recording. And so,
Right.
yes, George Ochoa, he's a master beast in the studio, a musician. Thank you so much, George. And also Johnny, my husband, Johnny. Between him and Johnny and George, they both co-produced this whole entire song. And Johnny recorded the drums and the vocals, of course. And then we had Randy Villarreal uh, recorded the guitar parts on this medley. Randy is also a phenomenal musician from here, from Elsa. Randy, he was one of the original members of the Elida Reina y Avante
Oh,
crew
wow.
back in the 90s. Yes. And he's played also with Rem Herrera. He's played with some
Big
great
hitters.
musicians. Yes, yes. So he recently became available to us again. So
Awesome.
Randy is part of our tribute band. So we do have a traveling tribute band.
Oh, and
And
we're gonna get that sound when we go here, Marisela
yeah,
Hernández, right? Yes.
yes,
All
si
right.
Dios
Hey,
quiere.
quick shout out, Papuchi. Saludos, Papuchi from Cuba.
Hello.
Saludos. Hola.
Saludos y
And
felicidades. Sé que está haciendo muchas cosas muy buenas por allá.
yes. And saludos from Tejano TV. And Juan Mendoza Jr. loves this
Of
song.
course, Juan, saludos. Yes, bunch
Carlos
of support
P,
from you guys.
saludos. He says, "Hey y'all, saludos." Thank you guys.
Hi.
Thank you guys for joining in. Of course, let me see. Who's this? Johnny Hernandez. Hello, baby doll. Isn't that from a song?
Hi, honey. I said everything that was on the list. I said
She
everything,
said,
honey.
I promise, she said everything you told her to say. Okay, she did. I we're just kidding. We're just playing.
No,
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I just, my props to where they belong, and he's my he's my backbone in my music. So it is what it is. He's the one that drives
Yes.
me and guides me and leads me, and I show up and I do basically what he asks me to do, and then you know it just
Look
works
what he
out that
put.
way. Very blessed, yes.
He says he loves you.
Aw, love you
Oh, that's
too.
adorable.
Love you
So,
too.
and that's
¿Dónde
great.
trabajas?
It's tough being a family musician to begin with, and then to have the both partners be musicians. That tell us what that's like.
I think it's harder for couples that where only one is a musician and the other is not, because it is difficult to understand everything that the lifestyle, I have to say. It's a difficult lifestyle. But in our case, both of us have been in the industry even before we met. We were both in the music industry, and I think it works for us because we both understand each other. We both understand the industry. We both understand the lifestyle, and we both live the lifestyle. And so we complement each other and we support each other. When I wasn't doing my music, he had his band H Tres, and I was the first one out there supporting his music, supporting his. And whenever he plays at Fanfare every year with us with different bands, I'll go out there and I'm his number one support system. If I'm not doing my music, it's all about whatever he's doing, and vice versa. When he's not working with his music in the studio or helping out a band, it's all he puts all his efforts into me and my projects and what we're doing. So we both live it. We both support each other and we both understand the lifestyle. I think that's the key. No
Yes.
somos celosos, no somos, because we both understand what all of this
Yes.
comes with. We have a mutual
Yes.
respect for the lifestyle. And so it just, for us, it just works.
That, you know what, congratulations to them, because it seems like, and this is just an observation. Well, quick shout out to uh of course your husband Johnny Hernandez, and then Larry Maldonado, and of course Carlos P. Garcia, Juan
Sorry.
Mendoza Jr., saludándoles a todos. Saludos, everybody. Um, it is a difficult, but it's been, I'm just, I'm just an observer here. Well, okay, before I came a solo artist, I was an observer. And the female artists that are out there, the ones that have, how would I want to put it, have a more solid career, are the ones where it's the husband wife team. That's
Oh,
what it
okay.
looks like. It could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. But so far it looks like when there's a husband wife music team,
Hmm.
it's more solid. I don't know. Do you think
Hmm.
feel that's your
I
experience?
hadn't thought about it, but I mean, yeah, if you think about it, a lot of them are, yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, we could name names here, but I can see that now that you mention it. I'm thinking about it, and and it does make sense. It does make sense because they both understand the lifestyle, I'm guessing.
Look, Juan Mendoza says Maricela doesn't get jealous when I talk to Johnny.
Not at all, not at all, ever. They
Should
talk,
she?
and he goes to the other room to talk. I don't, it
Oh my
doesn't bother me.
goodness. Oh yes, no. I'd be like,
It doesn't
well,
bother
then
me.
again, then again, I am toxica. I'd be like, ¿qué? ¿Para qué te vas para allá? Well, that's just me.
No, not at all. I don't mind it at all. Not at all. Not at all. Thank God.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great thing. And like I mentioned before, there's a book called The Success Seven Habits of Successful People. And one of the first things they mention is to choose a good partner.
Mm-hmm.
Choose someone that's going to back you up. Choose someone who has the same vision as you. That's one of the first things. So
Yeah,
once you've got that, then the rest, it's still up to you, but it's definitely an easier ride.
definitely. Yes.
Hmm.
For it, if you have somebody that doesn't support what you're doing, and of course, todo con medida, right? I mean,
Right.
it's not, I'm not going to knock anybody's career, but if it's something that's questionable, or if it's something that, of course, is causing conflict in your marriage, well, think about it twice, right? But if it's something that you're doing that, you're not going to damage your marriage or your family, or anything like that, then I just think support each other. It's the best way to go, and you'll both be happy.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm glad. I'm really glad that you and your husband are having a positive experience with your career and
Oh
everything,
yeah.
because it can be, a slippery slope where somebody looks like they're,
Definitely.
yeah, and so kudos to you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what is in the future for Marisela Hernandez?
Right now we are still working on the tribute. And so, like I mentioned before, I had just released my full album I think it was last year, unless it's already been a little bit more than a year. I have an album under, all the social media outlets, Marisela Hernandez, and the album's called Cinco. That album literally took me 5 años to complete, not by choice. It was my first album ever, and I took my time with it, and every song on there, I think it's great because we handpicked it. On the album, there is not a single song on there that we thought this is just a filler song. Every
Right.
single song was recorded with a purpose of being a great song. And so we took our time with it. And then, of course, life happens. When you're an independent artist, the money doesn't flow for the recording studio or the recording
No.
musicians or the mastering or the mixing or anything else. And so making an album is costly.
Yes.
And for, a middle class person here, it took us a while.
Yeah. What? You don't have money falling off of your trees?
Sadly, no. Sadly, no. My humble home. No, no, not at all. No, not at all. Maybe one day, I don't know, the Lord will bless us in such a way. But until then, so
Mhm.
my very first album I decided to call Cinco because it took me 5 años. And so it's out there and it's available.
So what do you want
Shortly,
us to play from that?
from the album, wow, let's see. Gosh, they're all great. But one of my Oh gosh, I just have so many favorites. One of my all-time favorites from my album was my very first single that I recorded and released. Beto Ramon wrote my first two singles, and it was the my very first single was called not "Quién iba a pensar." That was the second one. Was called "Me está gustando," and so "Me está gustando" was my very first single. I love it. Quien iba a pensar was also Quien iba a pensar is a song that Beto Ramon wrote for me, and it's about my husband and my daughter, and it's about our life. So that's
Aw.
a beautiful song as well. That's on the album. And then I also recorded another Beto Ramon song called Increíble. There's just so many great songs. They're
Wow.
all great songs, and Beto Ramon is my favorite all time. Uh, Songwriter in the Tejano music industry. And I have another favorite as well, which is Jesse Villarreal, who wrote my last song that I released right before the medley, which is called Besos Falsos. That one's not on the album because that one I recorded after I released my album. Um, so yeah, I've got some music out there. If you look in Spotify or YouTube, Marisela Hernández, you can find all my music. And I have two music videos. The Quien iba a pensar is a music video that I have with my husband and with my daughter. So I encourage everybody to go out there and check it out. It was a few years
No, they
back.
don't have to go out there and check it out. We're gonna put it on right
You're
now.
gonna play it. Oh,
Ahora
yay!
me está gustando.
Yes. It was a few years back, but it's a beautiful song written by Beto Ramon.
Juan Mendoza says we need to go back to playing bingo.
No sé qué tienen tus manos que me despiertan cuando me tocas, cuando tú me acaricias, tiembla mi cuerpo, me vuelves loca. No sé qué tienen tus ojos que me hipnotizan con su mirada. Vuelvo a caer en tus brazos con toda el alma ilusionada. No sé qué tienen tus labios cuando me besan a mí. Tú sabes lo que me gusta, haz lo que quieras de mí. No sé qué tiene tu cuerpo cuando me das tu calor, pero me está gustando tu amor. No sé qué tienen tus manos que me despiertan cuando me tocas, cuando tú me acaricias, tiembla mi cuerpo, me vuelves loca. No sé qué tienen tus ojos que me hipnotizan con su mirada. Vuelvo a caer en tus brazos con toda la alma ilusionada. No sé qué tienen tus labios cuando me besan a mí. Tú sabes lo que me gusta, haz lo
Oh, I love that. That is,
Yeah.
wait, let me remove this. Yes, I love that. You know, you tienes ese timbre de Laura.
That's
Uh,
what and that was my very first song that I recorded. I think that was back in 2018. The song was, like I said, written by Beto Ramon, produced by Hugo Guerrero. And it was recorded by my primo, Lupe Moya, L&M Media from Round Rock.
there it is. Says,
And
thank
there he
you
is, Lupe.
guys. Lupe Moya,
I love
saludos.
Yes, yes. So they were the ones that, like, gave me that little push into the industry and basically, put me out there. And so, yeah, since I recorded that first song, I've been getting that, to me, they're
Yes,
compliments. And, it's a huge compliment for somebody to say, you have that timbre of the Laura Canales. And so I've been getting
yes.
it since then,
Wow.
even with my own music.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing to have because like we mentioned, she was the founder of Females in Tejano, basically. She laid the foundation for all of us.
Mm,
So man, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I told you when I saw you live, I am a fan of Marisela Hernandez.
yeah.
I love your voice. I love your interpretation. I love your presentation. And my just so happens that when I saw you, really, Oscar Solis was performing. Cállate,
Yes, in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh.
cállate el oso.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
oh my
pressure.
God.
So when they asked me,
Yeah.
to do a little show there in Edinburgh, Texas, that last year, I think it was last year, and they said, it's going to be Oscar Solis, Valde Munoz, no pressure, Ramiro, I forget Ramiro's last name, but they're all part of like the Legends band,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh gosh, no pressure. Like these are the
No
men
más.
she stood on stage with at
Yes.
one time in her life, and
Yes.
that was huge. That was big. That was big for me. I
Yeah.
was super nervous.
Well, you did an awesome
Thank
job.
you. Thank you. It was fun though.
Awesome job. Well, I loved having you on the show.
Thank
I want to
you.
mention to everybody, I want to thank you, Marisela, for agreeing to come here on a Thursday evening. It's not a Sunday 2 p.m. like normally Giras y Desveladas is. I want to remind everybody, by the way, shameless plug. Giras y Desveladas has been nominated at the All Star Music Awards as a podcast. If you don't have your own podcast, can you please vote for mine?
Yes, absolutely. And she's going to be posting the link on comments right after the show. So if you can't find the link, look for the link. And she's also nominated in some other categories there. So just look for her name, Gigi La Tejana, and click and vote and support you guys. And
Yes.
Marisela Hernandez, also my Eternamente Laura medley, was nominated for Best Song. So we encourage you guys and thank you for your support and we love you and thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. Thank
I,
you. I
I
appreciate it.
you're very welcome, and I'm so glad. And by the way, guys, if for all of you that are not catching it live, it's gonna be running. You can look for it on Facebook, Chicano, Gigi La Chicana Guerrero, Facebook, Giras y Desveladas, YouTube. And by the way, go and subscribe to my YouTube. It's like only me and my sister. Come on, like click on it, please. Okay,
Support, guys,
subscribe.
and
Support.
share.
Yeah, thank you. And if not, then with Juan Mendoza and Tejano TV, we have our own channel, Giras y Desveladas. So thank you to Juan Mendoza Jr. and of course Laila Lisa Promotions. Thank you. Um, but most importantly, so that we can all enjoy our Easter, we will be playing this again. So this show that you're watching right now, if you're watching right now and you're commenting and it's Sunday Easter, we're not live.
We're
we're,
not live.
we're
So
not live.
happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah,
Be
happy
safe.
Easter. Yes, happy Good
But
Friday. Happy weekend. Happy Easter weekend.
yes.
Um, it's
Before
been
we go, I want to also send a very, very special shout out to my parents, Lydia and Jose Luis Barrera, who have supported me a zillion percent for everything. I love you, mom and dad. My daughter, Janelle Hernandez, of course, my family. Also to Myra D, Cielo Entertainment, who is in charge of getting all of my music to you and to
yeah.
everybody. So works really, really hard for her artist and for myself as a friend. Thank you, Myra. Love you. And also, I just want to put it out there. If anybody is interested in having the Eternamente Laura tribute, it's a show. It's a whole hour and a half show. We are traveling with it now, and we're taking bookings. We're accepting bookings for 2025. We've
Give
already completed some. And
give us the
so,
number,
yes,
Marisela.
you
Number
can contact my husband, Johnny Hernandez, under Facebook. You can instant message him, Johnny Hernandez, or call 956
956 650 8022. I
You
have
can also, if you're like in the San Antonio area or anywhere really right now, that with social media, you can contact AGL Entertainment, which is Mike Aguilar. He's also taking care of our bookings. And so AGL Entertainment, Mike Aguilar, thank you so much as well. Um,
AGL.
mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, so that we can have Eternamente Laura tribute show coming to a city near you anywhere. So let us know, and we'd be happy to take it out there.
Well, Miss Marisela Hernandez, it was a pleasure to interview you. It's a pleasure to know you. It was a pleasure to watch you perform. The best of luck to you. The blessings for you, your family, your husband. I love it that you all are working together because I mean, that's family, and that's what music should be, family. So
Yeah.
I love that. Um, everybody go out there, look for all the information there. I put down the phone number for you guys in case you want to contact. And best of luck. Blessings to everybody. Cuídense mucho. Y remember, if it's Easter Sunday and you're watching this, this is a rerun. It went live on Thursday. But
Yes.
love you for watching. Thank you so much. Take care. And we'll see you when we see you.
Be safe. Happy Resurrection Day. Happy Easter, everybody.
Bye.